Welcome to my channel, Belize B2Z. So here am I on my future property, and it's around 1,050 square meter or a quarter of an acre property. Nicely wooded with healthy trees, tall trees, so a lot of shade. This morning, it's around 9:30ish. We have a nice breeze from the ocean, and it's actually very refreshing. There's hardly any mosquitoes. So this property here is in a estate of roughly 25 to 26 units, all about the same size. And I decided to move on the mainland because I did a lot of research what actually are available in terms of properties here in Belize. I checked out Corozal, which was pretty much flat, but it has the advantage of being close to the Mexican border. So if you want to do some shopping, getting your Costco or Walmart stores, you just can travel over the border into Chetumal and buy your groceries, bring it back to Belize, and you're good to go. I found it extremely flat up there. There's a lot of mangroves. There's a lot of shrubs, just uh, more or less just boring features for my needs. There's also a lot of in lagoons, so that means still brackish water, murky water, and it just did not attract me. So I decided to go and check somewhere else, and I ended up here just south of Belize City. I'm not giving the exact location of this beautiful place here because I want to keep it just kind of low key for a while. So my plan would be just working as a Canadian, uh, my way up to the possibility that I can build one or two cabanas here that down the road I can sublet as an Airbnb or a little bit of rental. And then within the next 2 years, I'm planning to build the main house over there, which I'm going to show you in the next clip. So I take it easy. I'm not in a rush to build a dream house immediately that has an effect on my building budget. I'm always going to check all the pre-built houses up in Spanish Lookout with the Mennonites and other Belizean companies that are doing amazing jobs. So I want to get a good picture of what my budget will be in the future and then just kind of take it from there. So within the surveyor markers, you can see the outline of the cabin or the house itself. It's going to be about 24 by 24. And if it's not enough, I can always add another 2 feet, whatever. That's not a problem at all. These trees here, they will be cut down because they're not only in our way, but it's also at the bottom. I saw some signs of termites as well. So in the long run, they're not going to survive it anyway. And then the rest of the property is pretty much open. I can add a workshop here. And the cabanas that I have in mind to build is just right over here where that little palm tree is. Just kind of like in that neighborhood away from my private part. So I keep my privacy. In the back behind that little palm tree, there's a small roundabout they can use as parking. So I think it's an ideal property for me and keeps all people that are not part of my inner circle away from my privacy. So I take you on a short walk through property. Like I said, it's about a 1,050 square meter property, slightly sloped, as you can see. So there is a good drainage, even with the storm Sarah that we recently had. It was drained very quickly. And fortunately, yesterday, 2 helpers, local helpers, were cutting all the weed. So you have a perfect idea what the property will look like. In the background, you see the estate access road, and we have a few houses, maybe 4. They are already occupied by full-time or just seasonal owners. In the back, we have agricultural land. So these are all positive features for my purpose. And that gives me a much more flexibility what I want to do with the property. So this is not a kind of closed in estate with a locked in gated community. It's pretty an open gate, but nevertheless, it's off the main grid, about 1 kilometer away from the main highway on the Hummingbird Highway between Belmont and Hope Creek. And again, beautiful breeze right now. Again, I really like it. Keeps the bugs away, also dries up the property. You can see these tall trees, they provide a lot of shade and a lot of sun too if you need some solar energy. And it's just kind of ideal for my idea. So in my age of just turning 69, there was just a question of not buying a too big of a property. I don't want to be a hobby farmer. I don't want to be somebody who is spending most of the time just maintaining the property rather than just enjoying life as it is, and still can plant a few avocado trees, some citrus trees or shrubs, and kind of keep self-sustained and keeps the cost down for living. And by the end of the summer of 25, I will have the title of the property. So that went pretty smooth so far. And then the next step would be applying for a working permit, dealing with some local contractors. Like I mentioned before, going to check out some prefab buildings in Spanish Lookout. And maybe we just kind of have a shell of a house built, move it in here, and I can do the rest just up to my expectations and standards. So this is kind of a dream come true to a degree. So there's a lot of reasons for me to kind of look for the next possible retirement place, which I basically found here just in Belize. And again, I'm a scuba diver, underwater photographer, and wildlife photographer. So I've been told here there's a lot of wildlife just around the estate here. There's a lot of little critters around every day. I'm going to have my spy cam set up at the night to see what's going on in the middle of the night, as well as a lot of scuba diving going on the Belizean Barrier Reef that stretches from Mexico all the way down to Honduras. So this is basically a workplace as well in the future. So we'll see what's going to happen. And I'm going to walk around the property and show you some features and some details that I cannot show you here from this point of view. What fascinating me most is kind of like these tropical plants, like palm trees. They have been planted here by the estate owner. And then we have these trees I'm not familiar with. I just have to look it up, and we'll add it later as a subtitle to the video here. But it's very important that they are healthy. There's a lot of termites threatening the trees, and it's important to get a lot of shade because it can be very hot, very humid, and that fresh breeze makes everything a little bit more easier to live with. So just between the last clip about the property description, I installed the outline for the 2 cabanas that I mentioned before. Like I said, I'm going to build those 2 cabanas first, and then we'll actually move into one while I'm building the main house, the 24 by 24, within maybe the next 1 or 2 years. Okay, let's walk into these 2 or towards these 2 cabanas so you get an idea what my idea was. So I'll give you another quick walk around these little cabin. It doesn't take that much space. When I was drawing the plan, I must have done a mistake when I was laying out the cabanas, and I thought there's hardly any space between the cabanas, the workshop, and the main building of my building. But from one corner of those cabins to the closest corner of my house, There is more than 60, 70 feet distance, and the workshop will be between. So I have my privacy, and that's what I get when you have this size of a quarter lot. It is what it is. And you see in the front, there's a lot of open space, which are going to fill in with citrus fruit, avocados, some mangoes possibly, and just keep it low key. And fruits and banana shrubs, of course. How can I forget bananas? They're beautiful and very nutritious. And let's tuned, and I will show you the next episode of how people are driving here in Belize. If you like these videos, please subscribe and give me a like here in the screen, and see you next time.